Desmond Omo, who is the State Director, National Orientation Agency, please come forward with your goodwill message. Please put your hands together for the MOA Director at Ebonyi State. You're welcome, sir. What happened?
Your Excellency, sir, all protocol duly observed. I, Dr. Desmond Omo, the State Director, NOA, Ebonyi State, on behalf of the agency, we to congratulate the MPC for the job well done in preparation toward 2023 National Population and Housing Census. We know that the difference between primitive life and modern life is planning. And there are no way you can plan without having the statistics, without having the data. Through census, it is easy for us to collect the data we shall plan for the future. NOA, with all the structures at the local government, all the local governments of the country, all the 13 LGAs of Ebonyi State, all the development councils in Ebonyi State are well prepared for what we know best to do. That is publicity, enlightenment, advocacy, public education, and mobilization. NOA will not shrink from that responsibility. We ensure the Ebonyi government that we are prepared, we are eager, my officers are ready. We are going to go into the field. All the nooks and crannies of the local government, of every local government, of every community, of every village, of every hamlet will be covered. We are going to sensitize, tell them the need to come out and be counted. We are going to disabuse the minds of our people about census. We are going to tell them everything that stands to benefit. We can't be complaining that some sessions are counting even animals and we are not being counted. We should come out and be counted. Only when you come out will be counted. If you go into your room and lock up yourself, cannot be counted. But time to gain more. When at the end of the day, we have up to 10 million Ebonians, and we are going to achieve it in Jesus' name. Publicity is one of the cardinal goals of achieving a sustainable census, and we assure you that NOA is prepared and eager and ready to do the work. Thank you, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please can you put your hands together for that beautiful presentation. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please I would like to inform you that this event is live on EBBC, and we'll be expecting contribution from our brothers at home. And they will be using the following telephone lines to join us at the appropriate time: 07085763054 or 08135392419. I will take it again: 07085763054 or 08135392419. At this point, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to take first presentation before we go back to goodwill messages. We'd like to invite to speak to us on imperative of the 2023 Population and Housing Census, the Director of Work and Study Program of Ebonyi State University, Okugo or the PhD. He has 10 minutes to do this. Put your hands together for him as he comes forward. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, and other excellencies here, my Lord, spiritual and temporal, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all other protocols duly observed. Because of our time and because I have a lot to say, I'll just go straight into the presentation. His Excellency has made my job a lot easier by telling us the important successors. But as we are stakeholders here, we are going to drive home the reason why we have gathered here. Population census, as we know, is the total process of collecting and compiling, evaluating, and analyzing and publishing and disseminating demographic, economic, and social data pertaining to a country or a delimited space for a specific period of time. And it is all inclusive. Everybody must be counted. And that is why the National Population Commission, EBBC, chose the theme for the 2023 census to be counted. You count, be counted. You are a very important personality in this country. You are not just a mere statistic. You must be counted. Your name and your demographic must be part of the total gamut, all the things that we're going to gather as the population of this country. And it is even approved. Many of us are Christians here, and we know that even in the Bible, God is very careful to count the number of people He has created, the number of people that even from creation to the flood to the sojourn to Egypt, and when He brought His people out of Egypt, and even the kings of Israel, they counted the number of people from time to time. And if you did that without God's permission, you get into trouble. So it is a very important activity which we do not have to take lightly. We need to know the number of people, number of persons that are in the police state, number of people that are in every local government and every community, every village, every household. It is important because it is the center of every development activity and every development planning. Population is a critical factor in a nation's effort towards achieving sustainable development. It is at the center of every planning activity, and there is no meaningful development activity that can take place if we do not know the number of people we are planning for. For instance, if His Excellency wanted to give us lunch here this afternoon, and if you didn't know the number of people that we are expecting at this function, the food may not go round, or the water may not go round. That is just bringing it to the minimum where we can understand it, that we need to know the number of people that we are planning for roads, for water, for health, for social services. And if we don't know it, we will not be able to provide for every member of the society. The people that are the people are both the agents and beneficiaries of the development process, and that's why they need to be carried along. When the governor is setting up a cottage hospital, for instance, he's not putting it up for himself alone. When he is building road, he's not going to take that road alone. If he's providing light or providing any of the social amenities, it's not for him alone. It is for people, Ebonians, and that is why he needs to know the people that he's providing for. Because if he doesn't know, it will be difficult for him to make sure that there is adequate provision. For instance, if you don't know the number of people that are living in a particular location, you would not know the kind of transformer you put there to supply light. And that's why it's important that we embrace this process and wholeheartedly. Every single person needs to be involved because, like we said, development is about people. Planning is about people. Census is about people. Whatever we're doing is about people, and people need to drive this project to make sure that everybody is captured. And additionally, we know that the knowledge of the national population in terms of size, distribution and socio-economic characteristics is required for planning purposes. And like we said before, it is used for policy making, for planning and administration aimed at enhancing the welfare of the people. That's what we're talking about, provision of social amenities like electricity, like roads, like food, like health facilities, for jobs and others. And the conduct of census in Nigeria has been irregular. The last time we had an experience like this is about 17 years ago, in 2006. And this is a process that started about 1861. And the United Nations suggested that we have to have, a period, every 10 years, there should be census. And it has not been like that in Nigeria. You discover that 17 years data is no longer feasible. It's obsolete at the moment. And that's why it's important that we update our records. In 2016, there was an attempt that was made, but because of the recession of 2017, it was cancelled. Another attempt was made in 2020, but that was hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, and that's why it's important that it must hold next year, so that we know exactly the number of people we have in this country. And it is most important for Ebonyi people because Ebonyi has the least population. Ebonyi therefore receives the least allocation. And you can imagine what our able governor, the Professor of Infrastructure, has done with the little resources he received if he had been receiving what he was supposed to be receiving. Because the previous exercises when of census, many of us thought it was maybe they wanted to tax us, they wanted to come and conscript us maybe into the armed forces or so whatever. For whatever reason, many people avoided it, and it cost us a lot. That's why Ebonyi is receiving the least allocation. If we have the exact number of people that are in this state, we will not be receiving the least allocation from the federal government coffers. The conduct of census is an essential government activity, and it is important that we participate in it. Nigeria has one of the fastest growing populations with a growth rate of 3.2% and an estimated population of over 200 million. Capturing the essential dynamics of such a rapidly growing population requires a regular conduct of censuses, preferably every 10 years, as recommended by the United Nations. We must stop the guesswork. We have always been guessing, banding figures. Sometimes some people will say we are 200 million. Some will say we are 110 million. Some will say we are 220 million. We need to know the exact number of people in this country, and especially our own states. The country's inability to conduct a population census in the last 16 years has created an information vacuum, as the data from the last census conducted in 2006 has been rendered less useful for planning purposes. Preparations for the conduct of the next census have reached an advanced stage, with the demarcation of 99% of the total land area of the country into enumeration areas. Further delay in conducting the next census will make the products thereof less optimal for the next census in view of the rapidly changing environmental landscape and settlement patterns in the country. Government needs to capture the changes in structure and movement of the population correctly for proper planning. Additionally, we know that since the assumption of office in 2015, the federal government has introduced several poverty reduction and youth empowerment programs, which are making concrete improvements in the living standards of the people. There is need to ensure the further implementation of these programs. That further implementation of these programs is driven by current data from the 2023 census. We need to know how many are employed, how many are unemployed, how many are in school, how many are out of school, how many are in IDP camps and other places that need government help and assistance. The continuous usage of 2006 census for the estimation of Nigeria's population has created a data vacuum and global population which does not do credit to the nation's reputation. Nigeria is the 7th most populous nation on earth and will be the 3rd most populous country after China and India in 2050, going by the current rate of growth. Okay. Nigeria's census is bound to attract profound international support and participation. One of our partners has spoken and talked about the UNFPA, how they are ready to support at the various levels of this strategic endeavor. Development partners and countries have shown interest in providing technical assistance, material support and funding for the exercise. While the Commission is mindful of the current economic recession, which has reduced revenue at the disposal of the government against the background of competing demands, including COVID-19 pandemic, the Commission is convinced that conducting the next census is one which investment the nation must make to launch Nigeria into the path of economic prosperity through proper planning and optimal allocation of resources. However, with the recent successes being recorded by our gallant armed forces in the fight against insurgency and the technical defeat of Boko Haram and the successful conduct of general elections 2015 and 2019, the security situation of the census can be handled. The 2023 census will be insulated from the 2023 general election. The elections will be conducted between February and March 2023, while the census will come a month later in April 2023. The result will be released before 29th of May 2023. when the tenure of the present administration will expire, and the results will provide a new basis for the succeeding administration to take off. Finally, I'd like to let us know that a successful population and housing census will be one of the most outstanding achievements of the Buhari administration, and it will be a springboard for the incoming administration to hit the ground running, having known the number of people they are planning for development purposes. On this note, I want to thank you for your kind attention. May the Lord bless you all in Jesus' name.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that applause is too small for that beautiful presentation from Dr. Odicha Ube. Thank you very much, sir. Your Excellency, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please would like to appeal to subsequent speakers to make it short, because His Excellency will attend to other very important engagement after here. At this point, Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, another presentation, this time the 2023 Population and Housing Census, the journey so far. I would like to invite the Federal Commissioner on National Population Commission, Ebonyi State of Nigeria, Right Honorable Darlington Onabuchi Ukereke. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ebonyi State, the Evolution Governor, the Transformation Governor, the Transfiguration Governor, the Political Maverick, and Metro. Your Excellency, not quite long, Mr. President triumphantly decorated you as the strongest commander of the Order of the Niger. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, the best Deputy Governor in Nigeria. The Right Honorable Speaker, the man that has the most peaceful House of Assembly in Nigeria, and also by the special grace of God, the incoming Governor of Ebonyi State. My Lord, the Chief Judge of Ebonyi State, the former Governor of Ebonyi State, the Unity Governor, the SIG and members of the ESCO, my friend, the Honorable Federal Commissioner representing Cross River State, who is here in solidarity to Ebonyi State. Your Excellency is a great friend of Ebonyi State. The Chairman, Traditional Rulers Council, and my revered Royal Majesties, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to hide on already established protocols. Your Excellency, I want to bring you greetings and felicitations from the Chairman, National Population Commission. I am very delighted to welcome all distinguished stakeholders at this very important stakeholders summit on the 2023 Population and Housing Census being convened today by the National Population Commission in collaboration with the Ebonyi State Government. Today's event marks a major milestone in the journey towards the first ever digital census in Nigeria. It provides us with the unique opportunity to proactively engage in the Ebonyi and get some positive feedback and invaluable cooperation and support, so that together we can ensure a successful conduct of a reliable, credible, and acceptable census next year. I wish to start by expressing deep appreciations to His Excellency, the creative and digital Governor of Ebonyi State. Engineer David Weze Omai, CON, for being a pillar of support to National Population Commission, Ebonyi State, on the preparation for the 2023 Population and Housing Census taking place in April next year, and accepting to host this stakeholder summit and perform a public presentation of the 2023 Census Project document, as well as inaugurate the State Census Committee. This underscores the governor's understanding of the role of demographic data as the bedrock for informed development planning. The governor has by this singular action demonstrated his desire to place Ebonyi State on the pedestal of sustainable development. May I emphasize that the executive governor's esteemed presence here today is a source of inspiration to the entire commission and an encouragement to deliver a credible and reliable census that will drive the development planning of the state. I wish to seize this opportunity to thank the executive governor for all the assistance and support extended to the commission in its quest to conduct the 2023 census. On behalf of the entire commission, I say thank you, Your Excellency. My thanks also go to all the stakeholders for the invaluable support you have given to the Commission and its field functionaries in our preparatory activities for the 2022-23 census. I also wish to appeal to His Excellency and the people of Ohuku local government area to assist us by providing needed security and support to enable us conclude the enumeration area demarcation in some locations in Ohuku local government, sir. This stakeholder summit provides a good opportunity to discuss some of our modest and laudable achievements in preparation for the 2023 census and to broaden the national support base for the successful conduct of the exercise. The specific objectives of this summit are: 1, to create public awareness on the conduct of the 2023 census, including its imperatives, methodology, and timelines; to promote robust and informed national conversation on the processes and procedures for the 2023 census; to solicit the cooperation and support of key stakeholders for the 2023 census; to convince citizens to submit themselves for enumeration purposes during the 2023 census; and finally, to provide a platform to offer clarification and receive feedback and suggestions on salient issues and considerations related to the conduct of the 2023 population and housing census. The goal of census taking is to ensure that the results are reliable, acceptable, and credible. Hence, the need for engagement with the stakeholders to get their feedback on the instruments and to enrich the process. In the past, the Commission has engaged many stakeholders, including UN organizations, state governors, the National Assembly, relevant MDAs, traditional rulers and religious leaders, youth and women groups, civil society organizations, internally displaced persons, disability groups, among others, in the development of the census instrument, which led to great stakeholders' input in the instrument. In a bid to get the people involved in the census process, this stakeholder summit is convened today in Ebonyi State to galvanize support for the 2023 census. As you are all aware, preparations for the conduct of the 2022 population and housing census are in top gear, and as part of efforts to deliver a credible and reliable census, the Commission is committed to ensuring that the results of the census are acceptable to Nigerians and the quality of the data to be generated meet international best standards for planning and development purposes. In line with the United Nations principles and recommendations for the 2020 rounds of population and housing censuses, The 2023 census will be fully digital, and the Commission has deployed technology to conduct the exercise and enhance data quality. I wish to end this address on a note of assurance to Ebonians and our development partners that the Commission remains committed to the conduct of a credible and acceptable census that will be transformational and meet international standards. Our goal in the 2023 population and housing census is that everyone will be counted and in the right way, at the right place and time, and for the benefits of all persons resident in Nigeria. I therefore wish to call on all stakeholders here to join hands with the National Population Commission in realizing the dream of providing the needed demographic data that will facilitate and place our country on the pedestal of sustainable development. The Executive Governor, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to present to you a video documentary on the status of preparation for the 2023 census. The documentary presents the achievements recorded in the journey towards the 2023 census and the outcomes of the strategic engagement with key stakeholders which have engendered national ownership and endorsement of the exercise. Thank you for your kind attention. May I very humbly request you, Your Excellency, to present to you, Your Excellency,
Nigeria has had a long history of census takings that spans over
instruments
100
and
years.
documents.
So far, the
Thank
country
you, Your
has
Excellency.
about 9 census counts. These are 1911, 1921, 1952 / 53, 1962, 1963, 1973, 1991, and the most recent in 2006. The present management of the National Population Commission set out on an arduous task of conducting a census for Nigeria. The time has been chosen as April 2023, and the Commission has put in so much preparatory efforts to digitalize and transform the process from what it used to be to what is likely to be the most credible census to be taken in Nigeria. These are not just mere words. In the last 6 years, preparatory measures have been put in place to make this a reality. One of the first physical process that was carried out by the National Population Commission as a foundational block to the proposed 2023 census was the Enumeration Area Demarcation, EAD.
It is the division of the whole country into small areas that 2 enumerators can cover within the census period. What it means is that the whole country will be divided. Every part of this country will belong to one enumeration area or the other, whether it is inhabited or not. Without enumeration area demarcation, enumerators will not know where to start or where to stop their enumeration. So it's a guide for them. It will restrict them to their particular enumeration area for them to work. That way, we will not have any gaps, we will not have any overlap. That means we will not leave some people uncounted or count some people twice. And the enumeration area demarcation also helps us for logistics purposes. From there, we will know the number of field staff we are going to take, the number of materials and all that.
Enumerators went to every nook and cranny of the country, counting all kinds of houses.
We're going to be counting all the houses in the local government, in every local government. We're going to be taking notes of all the public buildings, schools, hospitals, health centers. We're going to be taking notes of roads that are hard, roads that are not hard. We're going to be taking notes of roads that are just walkways. We're going to be taking note of every building, whether it's a hotel or not, whether it's a shanty, whatever condition it is.
Aware of the fact that there were various means to access the different parts of the country, the Commission was prepared to face this task. In some other areas, motorbikes were acquired to reach difficult terrains.
Thank you.
When these houses are marked and
Thank you,
demarcated
thank you, thank
within
you.
an enumeration area, the information is put in a device called
Please, who is in
the
charge of the
Personal
document?
Digital
Please.
System,
Thank you. Thank you.
PDA.
Can stop. Thank you. Thank you very much, please. Okay, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Progress of work done, what number of households are they supposed to cover, how many have they covered. It also goes ahead to tell you what is the average time of interviews in each of the states. It also shows to tell you that are they going to be able to complete the work in the number of days that is assigned for the job.
After this digital marking, the result is that all houses, structures, and more can now be identified through satellite imagery. Apart from the geo-referencing, there is more to the protective characteristics of the EAD. EAD is geo-fenced, which means that you cannot transfer the information from one demarcation area to another. The information is protected. How is this useful during census enumeration? This presupposes that no enumerator can allocate an area's census results to another area, and he cannot sit in a place and allocate figures as he or she is being monitored through satellite imaging on the enumerator's dashboard. After the EAD, the National Population Commission went ahead to conduct an EAD update, which was a further verification of the initial exercise. This was done in selected local government areas. Within this period of the EAD update, there were 2 census pretests to assess the validity of the records that had already been imputed in the census dashboard.
Now to check the adequacy of this very first level of preparation, that is creation of enumeration area maps, we need to carry out a test, and this is why we conducted the first census pretest, and this was conducted in June 2021.
The next phase of the preparatory process to the April 2023 census was the trial census, which was conducted between July 11th and 30th, 2022. The trial census, which is a dress rehearsal of what the actual census would look like, also had as part of its activity the building numbering and household listing before the enumerators' interviews with respondents. One of the respondents for the trial census was President Muhammad Buhari, who was so elated to receive the chairman of the National Population Commission, Alhaji Nasir Isa Kwara, and his team right there in his hometown in Daura, Katsina State. The commission is leaving no stone unturned to make sure that the April 2023 exercise produces credible results that is acceptable to all. As part of moves to achieve a smooth communication flow during the exercise, the commission launched a situation room which has a digital call center that will be active 24/7 during the actual census process. The situation room became active on May 18, 2022.
Every call that comes in is either attended to by the call center operators. If it is a call that will be referred to the chairman for response, it will be referred to the chairman in his office for him to respond. If it is a call that the director of census need to attend to, it will be referred to her to attend to it. If it is the census manager, it will refer. If it is the director Kato, it will be referred.
The National Population Commission recognizes the importance of getting Nigerians buy-in to the census process. In the last 2 years, the chairman, Nasir Isa Kwara, himself has led his team of management staff on advocacy visits to former heads of state, governors, traditional rulers, security operatives, and other stakeholders to convince them about the seriousness and commitment of the commission to actualize a credible e-census. After seeing the preparatory work that has been done to have a successful exercise, these principals have fully endorsed the process, making the advocacy visits fruitful.
The the census should lead on to demarcation of constituencies, which we have run away from since 2006.
And the most important, the population census provides statistical data for economic planning.
It is something that we place utmost priority, and we've given all cooperation.
You may also wish to come and talk to us at the government.
I want you to know you have a good, big job ahead of you. I pray you do it well, and I pray you accept them well.
Data is everything. Statistics is everything. If you don't have data, you can't plan.
On behalf of the FCC administration, I wish to assure you of our maximum support. And this support will be provided along the lines that is already enumerated. We will provide publicity because it's very important.
What I would like to say to my people is to give the awareness more cooperation, because it will help us.
We are all working to achieve the same objective.
This is a national call, so anytime you come calling, we are not worried, and we provide necessary security and support for your job.
One of the leading partners of the preparatory activities to the upcoming national census in Nigeria is the UNFPA. This international body has supported the National Population Commission very strongly in training of its staff for the different phases of the exercise. Country representative of the UNFPA, Ula Mola, has also worked closely with Alhaji Nasir Isa Kwara on many of the initiatives of the Commission.
The census is long overdue, and it is time that we understand what does the population look like in Nigeria. So when we know that, that will be transformational, and it will be a key driver to deliver the Nigerian development plan.
I therefore welcome you all, Your Excellencies.
Thursday, August 11, 2022 was very significant in the life of the Commission as it held its first National Stakeholders Conference and public presentation of the 2023 Census Strategic Document.
The importance this administration places on sustainable development.
The event was graced by His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, ministers, legislators, governors, traditional rulers, and members of religious faiths. The diplomatic community was also well represented and ably led by the United Nations Resident Coordinator in Nigeria, Matthias Shimale. Each representative had good and acceptable messages for the stakeholders, raising hopes of a potentially successful national population census exercise.
Nigeria is regarded as the most populous black nation on earth, with an annual population growth rate of 3.2% and is expected to be the third largest country in the world by 2050. Therefore, the summit is a necessary first step towards mobilizing national and international support for the Nigerian census.
Undertaking regular and credible census is a development priority for all member states of the UN, and it is a key indicator in the SDG results framework. Achievement of the 2030 Development Agenda and the related SDGs depends on the availability of reliable, robust, accessible, and timely disaggregated data on population size, growth, distribution, and characteristics of populations at all levels. A population and housing census plays a vital role in producing official statistics and providing the fundamental information I've mentioned. Now, the 19 resident and 5 non-resident UN agencies working in your country to support the government of Nigeria, and the aim is to achieve national development priorities, of course, the SDGs and other internationally agreed treaty obligations. The UNFPA has engaged a chief technical advisor on census, who is embedded, in fact, in the National Population Commission to support this process.
Let me reiterate the commitment of the National Assembly to the welfare of Nigerians through the enactment of people-oriented laws. To this end, the National Assembly will develop an action plan to work in synergy with the executive to facilitate the smooth conduct of the 2023 census project to generate evidence-based data that will aid in planning for the delivery of dividends of democracy to our country.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Indeed,
Thank you.
this present administration.
Thank you. Because of time, that's the much we can say. Please can we put our hands together for this beautiful documentary. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
The cultural dance Art Council, please come to the stage. Art Council, please come to the stage. Your time is running out to 2 minutes. You should hurry up or your time is running out. Please come to the stage. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Your time, not 5 or 3 minutes. You should hurry up or your time is Stand up. Onye ọja, round up o.
These are stories of transformation. And blessed state. These are narratives. Day of October 1996 by the total.
Your time is. Oyoja, please summarize. Your time is off. Thank you, the Art Council. Thank you, the Art Council. Bola Itonyoja, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Kuruze nakala wazge. Thank you. Let me hand the microphone to Dr. Monday.
Thank you very much. Hello. This boy gets sense. Why you not carry the other part one?
This is an account.
Thank you.
Of today.
Please.
It is a story of transformation.
Please,
it is an account of.
Please, can you be on the background, please? Thank you. Your Excellency, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, His Excellency will perform very important function, and that is the inauguration of the State Census Committee. May I have the honor and privilege to very humbly invite the following persons to please step forward for the inauguration as members of the State Census Committee. Principal Secretary to the Governor, please come forward. Is the PRO of the committee. Dr. Joseph Chukwu, MPC Ebonyi State Census Facilitator, representing the academia, please step forward as member. HOD Public Affairs, National Population Commission Ebonyi State, member, please step forward. State Director of the National Population Commission Ebonyi State is also a member and secretary of the committee. Honorable Federal Commissioner, National Population Commission Ebonyi State, please come forward. President, National Youth Council of Nigeria Ebonyi State Chapter, member. Chairman of Ebonyi State Muslim Welfare Pilgrims Board, member, please come forward. General Manager of Unity FM, Abakaliki, member, please come forward. The Director General of EBBC is also a member, step forward please. General Manager NTA, member. State Director of Bureau of Statistics, member. Honorable Mrs. Chinyelu Udoko, who is the chairperson of the National Council of Women's Society, is also a member, please come forward. State Director of the National Orientation Agency is also a member. One representative of Council Chairman, please come forward. We'd like to also invite His Royal Majesty Eze Charles Nkrumah CFR, is a member. The Chairman of the Traditional Rulers Council, please come forward. Chief Donatus Odi Njoko, member, Commissioner for Local Government. Barrister Oche Uchenna Oche, Honorable Commissioner for Information, is also a member, please come forward. I'd like to invite the SSG and Coordinating Commissioner, Dr. Kenneth Igwe Ubala, is also a member, please step forward. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I very humbly invite the Vice Chairman of the Committee and Deputy Governor of Ebonyi State of Nigeria, His Excellency Barrister Eric Elechigwe, PhD, the Vice Chairman of the Committee. Your Excellency, please kindly come forward. May I, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, the Count Chairman Southeast, Very Reverend Father Dr. Abraham Mwali, please come forward and join. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, may I have the honor and privilege to very humbly invite His Excellency, our dear Governor, Engineer David Mwese Omar Ision, who is the Chairman of the committee. Your Excellency, sir.
Your Excellencies and leaders, it's an honor unto me, and with every gratitude to God, that I have this committee, very, very important committee on our census coming up in 2023, inaugurated to the glory of God and for the service of our people in Jesus' name. Congratulations. So you wait more. I think you may turn the other way so that we will come and take picture with you.
Ambassador, congratulations, Your Excellency. I'm glad to have also the Federal Commissioner for Cross River State, in liaison with the Federal Commissioner for Ebonyi State, Honorable Chief Darlington, Honorable Chio Kereke, to do the decoration. Your Excellency, congratulations.
Congratulations, the Lion of the Southeast.
Thank you. Please come down with the instrument. We'll enter quickly to the second phase, which is public consultation meeting on 2023 budget and audit. And thank you very much. Now into the Citizens Parliament for 2023 budget. Your Excellency, our dear Governor, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, distinguished personalities, ladies and gentlemen, we are into citizens' budgets and the phase 2 of this program. May I invite quickly to talk to us and give some representation of the budget as I invite Honorable Chief Orlando Mweze, the Honorable Commissioner for Finance, Ebonyi State. Please put your hands together for him. Put your hands together for the Honorable Commissioner for Finance. He comes forward with a summary presentation of the budgets. Honorable Commissioner.
Your Excellency, dear Governor.
Please, this is a very important aspect. One of the very important aspects of why we are here. Please, all noise must cease. Please, all slogans must cease. All instrumentation must cease. Please, let's be attentive and listen. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency.
Again, I appeal to you to please sit down just for 30 minutes. One of the essentials of our meeting today has been done. The second one is also very important. Please sit down.
Your Excellency.
If you don't sit down, I will cancel your allowances. If your people are moving up and down, thank you. Finance.
Your Excellency, dear Governor, Engineer Chief David Mweze Omai, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Mr. Eric Kelechi Igwe, Your Excellency, the former Governor, our father, Chief Martin Wanjo Elechi, the Right Honorable Speaker, Ebonyi State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Oboni Anwifru, the Chief Judge of Ebonyi State, Justice Elvis Ngene. For want of time, I plead that I rest on the existing protocols that has been established. This afternoon, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, it's my delight to present to you the estimates of planned 2023 fiscal activities. You're all welcome. Today, it's my pleasure to have you all here for the 2022-2023 edition of the Public Consultation Input Meeting for 2023 budget. This edition is unique as it is the last in this administration, and it offers the opportunity to interact and also present to you the performances of the last year and of course this year in our physical journey. Worthy of note that the 2023 budget is a transition budget, and it will be implemented by two administrations. It's quite unique. The current administration will be implementing about 41.67% of the 2023 budget, while the next administration will be implementing 58.33% of the 2023 budget. Of course, His Excellency directed that we should especially invite the gubernatorial candidates of all political parties in Ebonyi State, which we did widely, and of course we reached out to them individually also. So I believe that they are here, or they are represented here. Of course, I've seen a few of them. Thank you for making it to this event. Before I move on, ladies and gentlemen, I would want to urge us to also try to visit the state website where we host government programs and plans, and of course our fiscal performances that will help you to engage government more and of course see what government is doing in all the areas of government endeavors. Today we'll be looking at the performance of the current fiscal year, that of 2021, the estimate of the next fiscal year. The past 2 years, we have had fiscal policies that were designed to consolidate on the achievement of this administration. And we have also named them according to the plans and purpose of each of these budgets. The 2021 budget was christened the budget of stabilization and consolidation in the recession. The 2022 budget was christened the budget of latter rain. Of course, the 2023 budget, we have tagged it the budget of divine mandate, consolidation, and continuity. It is important to note that the essence of this is for us to be guided on what the budget is set to achieve. We will look into the targets and challenges and achievements of the 2021 and 2022 budget and explain to you the plan on how we want to address some of the challenges and gaps that were found in the implementation of the 2022 budget, as it were. And some of these challenges we'll see where we have placed targets on how to achieve the gaps and close the gaps rather. So the 2021 budget, obviously, which I said was tagged stabilization, budget for stabilization and consolidation in a recession. We had key parameters which we benchmarked after the federal government fiscal planning parameters. And these as it were, there are challenges, and of course those parameters change at some point. But I would want to flip through. You can also be looking at the screen to see some of the tables while we move on. Precisely to the 2021 revenue performance. In 2021, we had a revised budget. So I'll be dwelling on the revised budget, which is what we have reported on after getting the approval from the House of Assembly to work with a revised budget. In the 2021 revised budget, the outlook or the performance of the 2021 revenue as budgeted is as follows. The opening balance was 9.1 billion, and the actual from January to December was 9.01 billion. The government share of FAC, our FAC revenue, was budgeted at 51,613 million, and our performance on that was 336,449,406 naira 34 kobo. Invariably, our performance was beyond 100% in that regard, so we had a 103.34% achievement, performance rather. The independent revenue, which is where we classify the internally generated revenue, we got, we budgeted 21,928,043,669 naira 0.78 kobo. That is a 15.08% of the entire revenue as budgeted. In that category of independent revenue, we were able to perform 99.03%, which is 21,714,590,362 naira 0.27 kobo. In the aspect of aids and grants in our revenue, we budgeted 5,998,700,000 naira, sorry, and that represents 4.13% of the entire revenue budgeted. Our performance there was beyond 100%. It was 140.48%. That brings us to 8,400,993,786 naira 0.93 kobo. The last on this chart is the capital development receipts. In the capital development receipts, we budgeted 10.5 billion. That represents 7.22% of the entire revenue budget for 2021 revised budget. And our performance was beyond 100% again. It was 128.64%, which covers 13 point...
Commissioner, because there is no food, not even a garden egg here, some of us are fainting. What you should do is to give us the budget size of this year, the recurrent, how much, and how much is capital. Then you can let us know the budget for the critical MDAs. Okay, then I can come up and help you. we wrap up and I ask people to make inputs. Okay?
Thank you. So I'll move on quickly to the 2023 budget estimate, which is the major reason why we are here. In the 2023 budget estimate, we have budgeted 139 billion 398 million 280,640 naira. This covers the capital and recurrent expenditures. For the recurrent expenditure, which is broken down into two portions, mainly the personnel and the overhead. For the personnel, we have 26 billion 894 million 384,468 naira. This represents in the entire budget size 19.29%. For the overhead, we have estimated 31 billion 473 million 390,000 naira. This represents 22.58%. The entire recurrent component of the 2023 budget estimate stands at 41.87%. The capital budget size, capital estimates for this budget stands at 81 billion 30 million 506,172 naira. This represents 58.13%. We have also planned to attain critical heights in our state as regards to growing our economy in this budget, and also planned to make sure that citizens' inputs are covered within the 2023 budget implementation. I also want to mention that we have same revenue size for the 2023 budget, which I will read through shortly the size of each of these revenue components. The total revenue size for the 2023 budget estimates stands at 139 billion 398 million 280,640 naira. And this is further broken down into, of course, the opening balance, the government share of FAC revenue, independent revenue, as where we have our IGR, aids and grants, and capital development funds. These are components that make up classifications that make up our revenue components. In the incoming year, we have considered major programs and projects for implementation, because one of the major programs we have planned for implementation is under the Ministry of Education. During this year, the state government will be intervening in the higher institutions, and this will be a major one for the universities and the College of Education. Under Ministry of Health, we have a program for malaria immunization that is coming up too, that is going to help the Ministry of Health in managing the increasing rate of malaria in the country. Definitely, we have done well. Last months ago, we received an award coming first in one of the immunization programs in the country. And I believe that the impact program, which is a World Bank funded program, would help for that to mitigate the incidents. Further, under the Ministry of Health, under the health sector, will be developing infrastructure for the state teaching hospital. I believe His Excellency will do more on that when it comes up. Under Ministry of Health too, under the health sector, will be upgrading further the 14 general hospitals, and also equipping them, including getting additional healthcare workers. There are plans for, in the 2023 budget, for the increased installation of solar supply, solar power enabled street lights and other solar energy supply system in the state. Under the Commerce and Industry, Human Capital Development, Ministry of Agriculture, we have a couple of empowerment programs that are dwelling on specific areas like agriculture, SMEs, under the NGCARES program. Still under the Ministry of Human Capital Development, we are going to continue the intervention that we started with empowering communities to intervene in certain projects that are ideal or that are placed as priority to solving their communal challenges. On the Ministry of the area of security, like you know, the government is doing so well to make sure that the security of the state is improved on a daily basis, and these are actually taking a lot from our state consolidated revenue fund, which I believe that it is important so we can have a smooth running system. So there's going to be an increase in the support we are giving to the security agencies, vehicular support, other allowances that are in that particular area. There will be more of this as His Excellency comes up to talk to us. Under the Ministry of Finance, we will see the engagement of liaison officers that would also help to alleviate the challenges of people not being engaged. So we're going to see a whole lot of that. Not less than 350,000 of this of our people will be engaged in this. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I know that day is far spent. Of course, I wouldn't want to keep us further. His Excellency has actually asked that we'll be brief. We want to commend you for coming, and I believe that as we move on, there will be time for you to make your inputs to this presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please, can we give him a better round of applause? Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, we'll be inviting our dear father, the father of modern Ebonyi State. Before then, I would like to inform you that Ebonyi State, from records, is one of the top 5 states in fiscal performance for the year 2021, courtesy of His Excellency, our Governor. It is my honor and privilege to very humbly invite the man who made it possible, Engineer David Wezomaye, CON.
Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you. Thank you. Can I have your attention? If you are not hungry, I'm very hungry. Your Excellencies, our leaders, let me be upstanding on protocol in place. We'll be combining two things, and that's my remarks on the census that we're about to embark on, and I'll just say a few things by way of saying protocols in place, and to say that I'm delighted to be present here today on this important occasion of Ebonyi State Stakeholders Summit on the 2023 Population and Housing Census. It's not only population, housing, and other indices that are under the population will also be accounted for during this period. The convening of this summit, no doubt, marks a major step towards the successful conduct of the next census. I therefore commend all stakeholders for coming together to brainstorm and strategize on how to support and execute this vital national project. The goal of this summit is to strengthen collaboration and solicit the cooperation and support of key stakeholders for the successful conduct of 2023 census in Ebonyi State. It has therefore become imperative to convene this summit to promote robust and informed conversation with critical stakeholders on the processes and procedures for 2023 census and to get the buy-in of citizens on the need to submit themselves for enumeration purposes during the 2023 census. The good thing about our meeting today is that we requested political parties and the gubernatorial candidates to also come, because most likely they are the ones to implement this census. And so it's important they are here because it comes after the election. So it's good for them to also have a buy-in. And for the budget, like the Commissioner for Finance said, my administration only has 41-point-something% to implement, whereas the incoming administration we have 50-something% to implement. And so I want to commend the National Commissioner very highly for this, the effort he has made, and all his team and those who came from the National Census Office to enable us have this interaction. This interaction is just the beginning as the committee will begin their work. And I want to believe that immediately after the election that we're going to be doing, our meeting on this census monthly, because it is very, very important. At the time we need to evaluate the indices for the population census, we will be asking critical questions. If there is no law in the country that where somebody, was born, he should become, an indigene of the place. If there is no law that says that if you are doing business in a place and probably you've stayed 10 years in a place, you are paying taxes, you cannot benefit, from the privileges accorded to the so-called indigenes. These are critical questions that will be asked. Because each time they say Southeast is the smallest region, but that is not the truth. If you put the population of Southeast people in the north, 11.6 million people, and you put over 15 million people in the southwest, not to talk about the south and those in diaspora, you need to tell us which other region is bigger than Southeast. And so when the becomes, we'll be asking those critical questions. And this will be very important as a nation, as a people, if we truly want to move this nation forward. I believe that this administration is convinced that the National Population Commission has the commitment and capacity to deliver to the nation a reliable, credible, acceptable and successful census. We are also satisfied with the deployment of technology by the Commission to ensure the conduct of the first fully digital census in Nigeria, as the census methodology will enhance the data quality, inspire the confidence of the Nigerian people and acceptability of the census results. The just concluded trial census, in which 9 local government areas in Ebonyi State were successfully counted, has renewed our hope and confidence in the capacity of the Commission to deliver the 2023 census. But do not take it to heart. What you counted is just a little percentage of our people. So let it not represent anything that concerns us. But it's just a trial census to see our ability to come out. We came out, but we didn't really come out. So this time we will all come out. No be so. The outcome of the preparatory activities for the main census is a reassurance that the Commission is progressing in the right direction. Ordinarily, conducting a population census is a national event which is the ultimate responsibility of every national government. However, census taking cannot be left to the National Population Commission alone. I therefore wish to make a clarion call for support from critical stakeholders, including local government chairmen, traditional rulers, religious institutions, civil society organizations, private sectors, media, development partners, donor agencies, and the general populace towards the successful conduct of 2023 population and housing census in Ebonyi State. Knowing our population in Ebonyi State and using the data to plan for the people and future generation is a collective duty we owe our state. We all must ensure that all hands are on deck to collectively achieve this desired success. I wish the National Population Commission and indeed all Ebonians a rewarding and successful conduct of 2023 population and housing census. God bless Ebonyi State. God bless Nigeria. Thank you, 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 thank you. Am I supposed to say it's flagged off or is it enough? Thank you. Your Excellencies, before I come to the 2023 budget, I have few announcements to make. The HAG, we come up with executive order banning the presence of motorcycles in every part of Ebonyi State from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. It is for your lives. You should clap for this. All the unknown gunmen are using the motorcycles. All the known gunmen are using motorcycles. So if you want to use motorcycles, please use it before 7 p.m. We have to do everything possible to secure your lives. My very good friend who was part of the construction of this place was killed yesterday night at Nsukka. Unknown gunmen. The young man was just driving with the wife and they opened fire and killed him. We got the news while we were meeting as governors of Southeast. Many people have been lost in this state by the same kind of wickedness. The wife, they pumped a lot of bullets in her neck. She's struggling to survive. So when we take very hard decisions, it's because we have to take it. When people that we talk, they say the responsibility of every government is to secure lives and properties. And so you must sacrifice. You must sacrifice. You want to make an omelette, you must break an egg. This is very important. I've told the consultant to liaise with the CP so that we can let you know what these people do to secure your lives. If you see what happens in this state, you will be very shocked. But ESCO members are aware because it goes only to the platform of ESCO members. The number of security men we have in every of the states cannot secure the lives of the people. Those who are afraid of a Bubago are those who want to foment trouble in Ebonyi State. If you give me one infringement by any Bubago person, I will throw the person in prison. That's what the law says. But you can be castigating them in Facebook. The Agron Kashi of Ebonyi State is seated there. So now I say make I talk. Hate speeches. We will not tolerate hate speeches in Ebonyi State and falsehood. We are going to set up legal committee. The moment you dish out whether you are saying you are campaigning, you are not campaigning, even if you are APC, you dish out hate speeches, we go and test you in the law court. Freedom of speech does not amount to falsehood. It doesn't amount to hate speeches. We have a law on that. If the federal government cannot implement their own law, we will implement our own here. Part of the insecurity in the country is still hate speeches and falsehood. How could somebody be in another country and be threatening the sovereignty of another country? So, very important. From 1st of November, no rallies in schools, whether primary schools or secondary schools, and I will explain. If you must hold rallies there, you must apply to Commissioner for Education. The commissioner must give you approval, because when you do rallies in these places, the sheets are defiscated there, the places, pure water and everything. Who cleans it? Who cleans it? So, whether it's marketplace or schools, if you apply properly and they put down the money to do the cleaning, or you do the cleaning, whether you are APCO or any distance, you can stay in Facebook. Me in Ebonyi State, I stay. So, that is that. And good enough, it has started in other states. Billboard that African people are crying about, it started in Anambra State. Ouran Diokongo Sinke Yoga Puche. Nka Yoga Puche. You pay billboard there, you come here, you pay billboard, including APC. There will be executive order on this. If you like, you go to court and challenge it. We continue till Supreme Court. We are setting aside money to try every matter, so that if you are talking what you do not know, the long arm of the law will do what? Kechikom. Now, the citizen budget. In a citizen budget, in presenting a budget to the citizen, what are we looking for? That is very important. You are not necessarily looking at the figures, the amount, because the amount is going to depend on, the money that will be coming. But there are policies that you must be looking out for. You have to know about the taxes. What taxes, the government is introducing. Are you heavily taxed presently? It's your opportunity to say, look, we are taxed in ABCD, which I know none of you will say, because we are not even taxing anything in Ebonyi State. 95% of people here do not pay tax. This is very important. But let me say that the executive order that waived taxes on small business holders, I don't remember the executive order number, but that was consequent upon the crisis of COVID-19, which I signed, is still holding. Don't worry about people that go to television to the marketers. So if anybody is doing hawking and somebody is collecting tax from the person, report to me, the person will go to jail. So in citizen budget, you should be interested in how much is the percentage of the health to the entire budget. Health, education, agriculture. You know, people tend to forget infrastructure. Infrastructure is everything. Without infrastructure, there is no health, there is no education. And if you come to Ebonyi State, I will be telling you that our major, priorities should be health, education, infrastructure, agriculture, commerce, then human capital, that's stomach infrastructure. And we have done this very well. And like I said, we need to educate people about budgeting and budget performance. Budgeting and budget performance. And so we take you to 2015 when we had, a supplementary budget. And when we took over, we call it budget of repositioning, to reposition the state. And in 2016, we had 38% recurrent and 62% of capital, and we called it budget of divine actualization. We came on divine mandate. If you watch our budget, you find out that our recurrent is always about 40%, and the capital is about 60%, and that's what bank rating for development to take place. If you don't have 40-60 in a developing economy, that economy cannot develop. And so in 2017 we have 40%, we have 31% recurrent and 68% capital. We call it budget of inclusive growth and poverty reduction in economic recession. We were in recession then. In 2018 we had 20% recurrent and 79% capital. We called it budget of divine manifestation. We have started to manifest at that stage. And 2019, that was another administration. That's a second tenure. And you find out that any time there is a new administration, the recurrent will increase. Because you have to buy vehicles for the House of Assembly members, you have to buy vehicles for ESCO members, you have to pay furniture allowance, you have to pay a couple of allowances. And that's why in 2019, during second tenure, the budget, well, it didn't go up as such. It was still 22% to 79%, because we made sure that ESCO members we bought vehicles before, they still use their vehicles. And I wasn't the first. Now Chudo taught us that no commissioner under that our regime got 2 vehicles by doing 2 tenors. So it's 1 tenor, 2 tenors, 1 vehicle, 1 tenor, 1 vehicle. No be so. In 2020 we had 34% of recurrent and 66% of capital. And that 2019 was budget of divine fulfillment. We were getting fulfilled. And 2020 we had 34 recurrent and 66 capital. And that is budget of growth, consolidation and transformation. And 2021 we had 41.38%. Why? We had started to share money from January of 2021. So those who say we didn't share money, they lie. We have shared a lot of money. And so our budget in recurrent is even very high. And that was 41.38% against capital of 58.62%. And we call the budget of stabilization and consolidation in a recession. We are the only government, the 2015-2019, they suffered 2 recessions. They also suffered COVID. They suffered Ebola. They suffered Lassa fever. And yet we survived, and we are still surviving. No be so? Whether you clap or not, I know we have done very well. Thank you. 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 2022, we had recurring 38% and the capital 62%, and that is budget of latter rain, always greater than the first rain. And our exit budget is recurrent 42.6% because we have a lot of commitments in terms of the people. You will hear it. We want to deploy for community services, and we call it budget of divine mandate consolidation and continuity, C2C. My people, nobody died here, so you want to clap, you clap very well. Now, briefly, in 2022, when we became the first 5 in budget implementation, don't forget that we're first in prudence management of resources. We were the first in state sustainability index. We were among the second overall in budget implementation. And for those who darken counsel without knowledge, you've got to know that security, one of the indices and responsibility of every administration, that we had a budget size of 3.41%. And we've implemented that to 75%. We have Ministry of Works and Transport. Somebody says the only thing I know how to do is infrastructure. I can do all things through Christ that strengtheneth me. And so the Ministry of Works and Transport is 24%. Let me tell you something about roads. A man in India was asked what is the catalyst for development. He says if you want to develop a place, you have to build roads. It's only roads that will enable one person to transport from one point to the other for education, for health, for empowerment, for agricultural input. Today we are building the longest road in the whole Nigeria. 199 kilometer of road, ring road. 199 kilometers of ring road. Courtesy of the Chief Elegy administration that initiated it. We've done 53 kilometers on our own, and the other one is being funded by African Development Bank. And I want you to ask the people of the 8 local governments in the north and central their feelings. I fought for 1 year to ensure that we use concrete and not asphalt to do it. Now, if you don't have this road, if you don't have the road, how will you bring the agricultural produce, to the city or to sell? How do we move from our houses to transport our people for healthcare? How do we move from one point to go to school? So road is very important to us, very important. And so we've implemented that road to 92%, 93%. Now we have Ministry of Infrastructure Development. That's 17.55%. And that is basically the airport. We have implemented this by 140%. 140%. We have the Ministry of Education. Education had the highest budget of 2022. Education, 24.47%. Go and tell them, the Bama is coming back again. Go and tell them, the Bama is coming back again. Thank you. So, thank you. We have implemented education. We have implemented education 103%, the highest budget of 2022. We have implemented it 103%. And somebody will come and talk nonsense about education. And you have Ministry of Power. We've implemented Ministry of Power 148%. Without power, there is no education. Without power, there is no businesses. Without power, there is no hospital. And in the Ministry of Commerce, we've implemented 115%. I want to be challenged. The size of our empowerment of our people from 2015 to date, I want to challenge anyone who has an idea to tell me another state that has empowered their people like that. So the highlight of the budget of 2023 is the proposal. We will implement the setting up of the 2 universities. We will lay the foundation stone. We will start the construction. The University of ICT at Oferegbe in Ishi, and the Aeronautical University at Ezza, by the airport there. We are developing the teaching hospital for Ebonyi State University. We have given quit order to the FETA to give us back the very beautiful hospital block we built, so that we can start a teaching hospital before my exit. Of course, we are building the biggest, when I say the biggest, is the biggest stadium in the whole Nigeria. We want to fully develop it. We want to fully develop it in the next, in 2023. We have to upgrade all the general hospitals. We are going to, in David Umahi Federal University Teaching Hospital. Can I have your attention? I have 3 minutes to go. Even though the federal government is taking over by January, we are still going to make a program where the specialized centers like the cancer center, the liver transplant center, the heart center, the eye center, the artificial bed center, the dialyzer production center, we want to put also support so that where we have critical patients, we'll be able to invite the best experts in the world because we have the best equipment. So we are looking for the best experts, but we can't employ them on permanent basis because of finances. So we invite them. They come and perform the operation, including spy, operation. And I want to lament that there is so much increase of kidney failures in our state. There is so much. So we have equipped a very sophisticated center for kidney care and the kidney screening. The same thing with cancer. We cannot be waiting. There is a need to do screening. They are functioning. And to the civil servants, we have earmarked billions of naira for civil servants housing scheme next year. And we are trying to see God helping us to pay off all the inherited pension and gratuity before the end of May 2023. We have soft loans. We are going to give to small and medium scale farmers under the Ebonyi State CASE program to grow their businesses. The big one, and it's up to you to approve this program or not. We are proposing from January 1st. We are proposing between 100,000 to 500,000 Ebonyans to be receiving 10,000 naira for the next 5 months for community services, for vigilante at the village level. Those in support, let me see your hands up. Those in support, hold on. We are proposing to pay for the next 5 months from January, Ebonyans between 100,000 to 500,000 people, 10,000 naira every month for them to assist us in the community cleaning, information on security, sweeping of our roads, community services. Those in support say aye. Let me see your hands up if you are in support. Your hands should be down. Hold on. Those who are against, let me see your hands up if you are not in support. So the citizen budget has approved that Ebonyi State government shall employ between 100,000 to 500,000, And they shall be called liaison officers to the governor. Can you put your hands together to this divine mandate? Now, it has no party coloration. We are going to be collecting names, and the means of identification is either you put your NIN number. What is it? What is that NI? What is it called? Yeah, national identification number. Or you put your, INEC number. Any of the two will suffice. And whether you are in this party or in the other party, so far you are a Ebonyi man and you are living in Ebonyi State, you are qualified to be part of this program. Ladies and gentlemen, may I, on behalf of Ebonyi State Government, present to the citizen of Ebonyi State for their scrutiny, for their input, for their amendments, for their approval and resolutions, the 2023 budget estimate tagged Budget of Divine Mandate Consolidation and Continuity, C2C. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, the band. Thank you, the band. Please, may we all rise and give 3 resounding boza to our highly performing governor. Please, may we rise. 3 resounding boza to His Excellency. Let's go. 1, 2. Congratulations, Your Excellency. Thank you very much. We will take a few comments. We'll take a few comments, contributions from different groups. Very few. But what you do, we'll put a rule. You come, you tell us your name and your group. You go straight to the point, and you don't repeat what any other person has said. I have information that we have some telephone lines that are provided for those who are outside, who are listening to us from different broadcasts. For those people, you make sure you are off your receiver set, television, radio, or handset, please. So for the groups here, all you need to do is raise up your hand, we'll recognize you, tell us the name of your group, and then you go straight to your point. Not more than 30 seconds, please. We will take only 5 contributions and we'll end it. Anybody from this row? Nobody from this row? Anybody? Yes? Come up. Honorable Commissioner, Chairman Ezza, not local government. Yes.
Divine Mandate
Listen, no protocol. Your Excellency, the all-conquering David, the wonder-working governor of our state, the governor who promised our people 6 flyovers, and they have given us 13 flyovers. The man who promised us to improve on agriculture, and have made us score #1 state in agricultural production in the whole country. The man who introduced save tax in the Ebonyi state. I rise to support the budget estimate of 2023. I move that this audience of so many organizations, both NGOs and other groups that are here gathered, support the budget estimate of 2023 as presented by this governor who loves the boy people so much, who have doubled every estimate he made from 2015 to date, and added those other budgets like airports, like this house we are in, like the new stadium that is ongoing, like when he promised that Ochudo Centenary City is going to be like London before he departs. Today, if you go to Ochudo Centenary City, you have a story to tell. We are blessed. This is an answered prayer to Ebonyi people. I rise to move a motion that this audience support the budget as presented. I so move.
Your Excellency, sir, and everyone on the podium, I want to greet my women. Rachel, my women! Great market women! I want to sincerely and in honesty support the person that moved the motion in this following way. One, His Excellency, our dear Governor, has been a governor that is conscientized on budget, prudency, transparency, accountability, and right now, as he is moving on to the next level, he is going to show Nigeria what it means to be the president of Senate. And as we are talking, this present budget is human first budget. It's a budget of inclusion, gender-based, and sincerely, we are grateful for this 223 budget. And in other words, all women in Ebonyi State, we holistically stand up to say that we are supporting His Excellency and the budget of 2023. God bless you.
Please, we want the NGOs to be involved. Please, we have a conference of NGOs. The leader should please come forward. Let us appropriately move this motion and support it. Yes, the NGO, who is it? No, I know. The NGOs, there is a conference of NGOs. It has leadership. The leader, yes, the leader of that group should now move this motion appropriately. And then a women in mining will now support it. Is that NGOs? Okay. Please, the chairman of Forum of NGOs and CSOs. The chairman, please. Yes. Please, the network. Okay, please. Yes, come forward.
Your Excellency, on behalf of the Market Women Organization for Empowerment and Development and other NGOs represented here, I want to move the motion that this budget of 2023, which was well packaged, there is a lot of accountability that is involved inclusiveness and women empowerment. And during your speech, Your Excellency, we heard that the small scale and people that are less privileged in the market have been excluded from paying tax. We want to thank you. We want to pray that when you get to the Senate, that you are going to move one motion that will empower the women. I so move.
Thank you very much. Please return to your seat. Return to your seat. Return to your seat. Return to your seat, please. We want a youth leader here. Please, a youth leader here to come and support this. a youth leader, any of the youth leaders to come, please come and support this motion as proposed by the market women. Okay.
I, Comrade Raymond Okoro, the Chief Chairman of NYC, hereby, with every sense of sincerity and honesty, in equanimity and in concurrency with other youth organizations, hereby support the motion for the actualization and acceptance of this laudable and effective budget for 2023. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Your Excellency, sir, you may wish to put this to vote. Bring it up.
Your Excellencies, our dear brothers and sisters, in line with the law, the Financial Act, we have presented 2023 budget estimate to you, and one of you has moved a motion seconded by another person. So I put it to you. Those in support that the budget as presented should proceed to the House of Assembly for their deliberation say aye. Those against, the ayes have it. The 2023 budget estimate, 139 billion plus, is hereby passed. The second reading and final reading of citizen budget presentation will be represented to the ESCO for their final approval. From there, it will be formally presented to the Ebonyi State House of Assembly on Thursday, the 3rd of November 2023. You are invited for the final presentation to the House. Thank you and God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Can the following people please come out? We have a committee on this list of members of Ebonyi State Action on Business Enabling Reforms Council and focal persons. This is replacing SEFTAS. Under SEFTAS, we made a grant of over 15 billion because we came first in many of the indices, including transparency in our finances. We came first, not by yeye people where they do the assessment. World Bank did the assessment, and so this is another version of SEFTA. So it's very important to the state, very important. Since we have no derivative, since we have the lowest allocation, let us deploy our brain and God's wisdom to compete and become first. So the chairman of the council is the Commissioner for Finance. Can he be out there? Dr. Odo Stephen is Commissioner for Commerce and Industry. Is the state focal person. It's like the Chief Executive. Barrister Chioma Weze is a member. That's Commissioner for Trade and Investment. Chief Adum, Commissioner for Lands and Survey, member. Mrs. Anne Aliwe, Commissioner for Human Capital Development, member. Barrister Cletus Ofoke, the Honorable Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, member. Chief Celestine Wali, Commissioner for Capital City Development, is member. Honorable Chinedu Ona is representative of Ebonyi State House of Assembly, member. Mr. Kizito Nwofu is in Abuja, is the Abuja liaison. Professor Humphrey Wabashi is Commissioner for Agriculture, member. Barrister Oji Uchenna Oji is Commissioner for Information and State Orientation, member. Mrs. Chinagoro Mokereke is Rep of Manufacturer Association of Nigeria, member. Chief Nduka Ozo is Rep of Ebonyi State Chamber of Commerce, member. Mrs. Akochi Adeze is Rep of Market Women Association, and Mrs. Mfong Williamson is the Palm Secretary of Ministry of Finance. She is the Secretary of the Council. Where are the Mrs. Adeze? Is she there? Is China Goromo Kereke around? Who is in Nduka also? Oh, okay. Okay. Do you have WhatsApp group? Who is the admin of the WhatsApp? Okay, you are the focal person. You have WhatsApp group. Okay. So I need to be there. Deputy needs to be there too. Is it okay? Okay. SHG, you give them appointment letter. You are hereby inaugurated to do this very important task in Jesus' name. So you will give them letter of appointment. God bless you. Thank you very much. Oh, you want a picture? Okay, national anthem, so that stay there. Don't go. Stay put and collect your allowance. Do not go. We have plenty money here to share. Commissioner, hey, move to the center, two of you.
Hello. Please let me take the announcement, please. Please take this announcement. The technical session with MPC will continue after His Excellency must have departed, please. Please, all invitees of MPC should go upstairs to continue after the departure of His Excellency. Thank you.
His Excellency send them money in one day room. I may well enjoy. Send him one on dog. But no one will give my name to my channel. When I look at when I move